Most weight loss diets focus on cutting carbs or avoiding them altogether, but that kind of restriction makes them hard to follow. If you've ever quit a diet before reaching your goal, you're probably looking for something more flexible that actually gets results. Carb cycling is a nutrition plan that balances limitation with liberation. It allows you to lose weight and enjoy carbs while avoiding diet fatigue. But it's not a magic bullet, and it only works if you understand some basic nutrition first. So I'm going to explain the benefits and limitations of carb cycling, then show you how to use it to burn fat and lose weight. A more flexible diet that actually gets results. So what is carb cycling anyway? On the surface, it's alternating your daily carbohydrate intake between low, medium, and high carb days. Low carb days are where you get 5 to 20% of your daily calories from carbs. On a 2,000 calorie diet, that would be 25 to 100 grams. Medium carb days typically mean 20 to 40% carbs. That's roughly 100 to 200 grams. And high carb days are 40 to 60% carbs, or 2 to 300 grams. Remember, these targets could be lower or higher depending on your calorie needs. Another key point is that you should also cycle your calories. Low and medium days are usually a 200 to 600 calorie deficit, while high carb days can be a 100 to 200 calorie surplus. You might be asking yourself, why should I go through the trouble of carb cycling? So here are the top reasons to try it. The first benefit of carb cycling is that low carb days can improve insulin sensitivity, which can help you burn fat. If you're not sensitive to insulin, your body is less efficient at burning carbs and is more likely to store them as fat. This is called insulin resistance. To make it easier to understand, think of your body as a car. Food is like gas, and your stomach is like the fuel tank. Your bloodstream carries nutrients to the cells, just as fuel lines deliver gas to the engine. In this analogy, insulin would be the fuel injector. When it's not working properly, your cells don't get the energy they need. Studies show the best way to fix this and restore insulin sensitivity is by following a low-carb, high-protein diet. This graph shows daily blood sugar levels for a group of insulin-resistant people who switched from eating 50% carbs and 15% protein to 20% carbs and 30% protein. The lower average glucose level indicates improved insulin sensitivity, and the researchers concluded a low-carb diet with exercise could even reverse type 2 diabetes. Insulin is a storage hormone, which means you don't burn fat when it's elevated. So being able to lower your insulin levels is key to losing weight. Then why not just reduce carbs all the time? Well, continuous low-carb diets can lead to excessive nutritional and metabolic stresses. Not to mention, you're removing your body's preferred energy source. That means your exercise performance and recovery could suffer. The second benefit of carb cycling is that moderate carb days fuel intense workouts and improve athletic performance. Research shows that consuming carbs before and after workouts can reduce muscle breakdown and promote lean muscle gain. Carb cycling lets you take advantage of nutrient timing so you can train harder and recover faster. This strategy is especially effective when dieting because it helps prevent muscle loss that occurs with reduced calorie intake. The third and perhaps greatest benefit of carb cycling is the effect on maintaining your metabolic rate while dieting. Continuous calorie restriction fails because your metabolism slows down, causing you to expend less energy. One study showed that metabolic rate decreased by almost 10% after just 3 weeks of an excessive calorie deficit. However, you can offset metabolic adaptation by periodically consuming more calories. A 2012 study showed that periodic refeeding resulted in significantly less reduction in metabolic rate while dieting. The occasional high-carb, high-calorie day can potentially boost your metabolism and help you lose more weight in the long run. That's why this idea of calorie shifting or metabolic confusion should also be incorporated with carb cycling. The fourth benefit of carb cycling is flexibility. Other low-carb diets leave no room for indulgence, and the keto diet totally cancels carbs, which just seems unnecessarily cruel. By comparison, carb cycling breaks up the monotony of dieting and gives you more freedom to adjust your meal plan for social events. This seemingly small change makes the diet exponentially easier to follow, and a diet you can stick with is the one that gets results. Despite the benefits I just listed, it's important to realize that carb cycling alone will not burn fat. Here's why. You will not lose weight unless you are at a cumulative calorie deficit. That means more low days than high. You must also eat enough protein to maintain muscle mass while dieting. And carb cycling is not an excuse to eat whatever you want on high days. There's a time and a place for cheat meals, but high carb days should be mostly clean foods. You should also exercise along with carb cycling, preferably resistance training with some moderate cardio. In other words, carb cycling will only be effective when you also optimize your energy balance, protein intake, food choices, and your exercise routine. At this point, you're probably wondering how to implement carb cycling in your daily routine. There's no cookie-cutter approach, and you can adjust the number of days to fit your individual needs. For example, I used to do 6 low-carb days and 1 high-carb day while prepping for bodybuilding contests. But I generally recommend using high, medium, and low-carb days for a more balanced approach. Plus, I find it more practical to schedule your carb cycle around your workouts. Think of it as energy supply and demand. So I'm going to show you how to customize your plan based on your workout schedule. With this approach, low carb days should coincide with lower activity levels, such as light cardio or rest days. Medium carb days are best suited for resistance training or other high intensity exercise, while high carb days are generally once a week on one of your workout days. This is the best time to do your most intense workout, like leg day. I also like to train my weakest body part the day after a high carb day, when glycogen and energy levels are at their highest. Next, I'm going to show you how a 7-day carb cycling plan could look. For this example, let's say you lift weights Monday through Friday, do low intensity cardio on Saturday, and rest on Sunday. You've also determined that you burn 2,500 calories per day on average. This table shows an example weekly carb cycling schedule, including calorie and macro targets. Monday is the high day and a 200 calorie surplus to replenish your energy for the week. Tuesday through Thursday are medium carb workout days with a 400 calorie deficit to help you lose weight while maintaining your lean muscle. Saturday is a low day where you only do cardio, which should result in a substantial calorie deficit. Sunday is a low carb rest day. You'll still be in a calorie deficit, but it will be smaller since you're not active. Then you would repeat the process over again the next week. As you progress or reach a plateau, you adjust the plan accordingly. Keep in mind that your numbers depend on your unique situation. If you want to get a personalized carb cycling plan, there's a link in the description. Carb cycling is an advanced nutrition strategy that takes a little extra planning, but it doesn't have to be rocket science. I created an online carb cycling calculator that does the math for you. You just enter your body composition, workout schedule, and fitness goals, and you get customized calorie and macro targets built around your schedule. Remember, carb cycling won't magically burn more fat, but it can be a great option for serial dieters looking for a more sustainable approach. Or if you already have your diet dialed in, but you can't lose that last 5 to 10 pounds of stubborn fat, carb cycling could be the boost you need. So give it a try and let me know how it works for you.